Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you a few items that I've made and that I'm about to make. So let's take a look. These items were made with things that we got in the Curiosities Box, Marie Antoinette. And yeah, it was just an incredible box. So this is the lovely postcard that we got for inspiration. And let's start with this here. Well, let's start with these guys. So we got these lovely big beads. So you can see the hole. They are massive. You can tell by the size in my hand. And I got so excited, I started by bezeling them using the John Bead Cylin bead. And this one here, this color, kind of like a pastel color. Let me see if I can get a better. I think I may have too much light. Let me reduce my light here. That's a little better. Okay. So this one here is matte macaroon light coral. And you can see how lovely this is. And these are just 15 seed beads. So these are 11 beads. They are amazing. I cannot believe the quality of the beads. So this is supposed to be a reveal for the curiosities box, but of course you have to use beads, or if you're doing stuff like this, you need some other beads to do that. So grab what you have in your stash. They are comparable to delicas. So if you haven't had a chance to purchase any of these beads, you can use the delicas in place. And look at this one. This one. So I think this one was narrow. You can see the difference in the bead. And one of the things I would normally give you, like I was going to do a video on how to bezel it, but each one was different in the how many beads you needed. So they're not consistent, these large beads. And then depends how far you want to go in. I only did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that one. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I only did one extra, but you can definitely see how narrow these guys are compared to the other. But they're so beautiful. So you can use them this way, like a pendant, or I guess it would have to be a pendant if you didn't want the one side shown. You could actually attach this to some felt and bezel it that way. And I'm going to show you one that I'm working on. Like I said, I love bezeling, so I just went off the rails and started bezeling everything. I bezeled this black one. Let's take a look at the black one. And I realized quickly these beads, now this one's even heavier than the others. And you can see, look at how wide it is compared. It's maybe one row wider than that one. So it gets quite heavy for if you're attaching your, say you make your own bail and you attach it to this, it's going to be heavy, and I worry that it's going to, distort this part here. Although now that I feel this is not moving at all. It didn't feel like that when I was making it. I was like, oh, let's keep, because they're not totally symmetrical. You're like trying to move the beads over to make them even on both sides of what the black is shown, kind of thing. So, and you can see, you don't see as much on this side. So I could have easily put another row here, but decided to leave it like that. And since we're on this topic and you're going to see this, we should talk about this. I am doing one that is bezeled on felt. And I wanted to use these lovely Navette beads. What do they call? They're not beads. Rose Montes. So I got a lovely package one day from a subscriber named Bobby. You know who you are. And she sent me a whole tray of these incredible Rose Monte Navettes. And does she not know me or what? And I'm kind of in my black phase with black crystals these days. So, yeah. Now, my question to all of you is, this is what I'm going to do with these. But quick question, does it look better like this with all of these leaves around, or should I take these two out and do it this way? Initially, this is what I had for the design. And I guess it would depend on what I'm using it for. If I'm going to put a bale there, then you don't need the leaves. You could always put the leaves on the bale. I don't know. So I need your help. So there's the other option. I think it really finishes it off like a Victorian design with the leaves all around. And these leaves are incredible. I got these from John Bead in their warehouse, their stash, and I was so taken by them that I got the different colors that I could find in their warehouse. So there's the black and these turquoise with like a silver finish on them, or mercury, I think they're called, finish. And then these are like an opaque one here, and then these gold ones. So we'll have to do some really lovely Christmas stuff with those. So I did manage to put one on a strand of pearls. So this one here is this here, same one. And I went ahead and put some 6mm Swarovski pearls, I think pink, powder rose, I think is the name of them. And then I attached some of the gold leaves with some, I think these are dark copper 4mm Swarovski pearls. And then we had this lovely big chunky drop. And all I did was, it's a head pin with a demi round at the bottom. And then demi round here. And then I put an 8mm pearl there. And this here is a spacer bead, and they're roses that go all the way around, and they are adorable. And it's interesting because I bought them. I was so excited about them. And I tried to use them in a few things, and you couldn't really tell what they were. And then when I put them on this, I'm like, oh, that's what they're made for exactly. And then that's just a bead cap. So I should mention what I did. This is not attached to the bezeling. This is attached. There is a, because it still has the hole in the middle, of course, I took some beading wire and brought it through, made a loop, and put a stop bead. And then I covered it with a bead cap. And I did the same on the bottom. So there's a tiny little bead cap that's covering a crimp bead. So I created a loop at the top and the bottom, and the loop, you can't see it now, is inside here. So, but you can see where this loop comes out to the pearl. And it's really thin wire that I used. You could use whatever wire you have. Now it's super strong, so it's not, nothing's going to get damaged, and it's not going to affect the shape of your bezel. And like I said, I just put those 6mm pearls, and these are like 4mm crystals, just inexpensive crystals up top. And these lovely pearls that I got, again, another stash. Big thank you to Carmi. She lets me pick some stuff out of the warehouse to do designs with. And I came across these pearls. Let me grab a set here. And I got a whole bunch of them. Let me see if it says glass pearlized bead from China. And they come in these long strands. They're amazing. The color is just so different. Has a pink but a brownie look to it. So kind of an antique-y Victorian look to it. And then for the clasp, now I did something different with the clasp, and I'll explain it to you, is normally you just bring your wire around through a crimp bead and, push the crimp bead together and then cover it with a crimp cover. And but on this, because these are single, this clasp is meant for a single strand. The single strand on the foot of the clasp, which is the part that comes out, so you pull it and squeeze it out like that, you're squeezing this down there, and if it was up against your beads, it would be hard to get it open. So I thought if I added some 15-0 seed beads to my wire and extended this area here further away from the foot, it would make it easier. So you could go even more than I did. Now I did find, little hint here, is when you're crimping your crimp bead, these little 15-0 seed beads keep getting in the way of your tool. And this one's fine. This one here there's 4 on the top and 3 on the bottom. You can imagine what happened to the third one. It got broken. And that was after doing it a second time because the other one got broken too. So I was like, let me be careful. So those little 15-0s want to go everywhere. And so this is how easy it is to get access to your necklace. And I made this 22 inches long. I wanted this to sit right above your cleavage or your bra line. So it sits just lovely on the chest. So you could probably go shorter if you wanted to, but I found that the large size of this made it look weird if it was too high up on your neck. Although I have seen like a double choker with one of these on it. So I guess it's what you prefer. So that's that one there. Let's move on to this one. So these are the abalone shell or abalonia shells that we got. We got a whole bunch of them in our bag. There's like a bunch of these round ones or oval ones, and then a bunch of small square ones. Initially, I was just going to attach one of these to this along with our earring posts that we got in the box, and that would be it. But that's not enough for me, right? I gotta do some more stuff. So that's what I came up with, and I had to bezel it. I was like, no, these meant to be bezeled. So I bezeled. These are so simple. If people are interested, we can do it. I did find in the few other videos I did bezeling, it's like the video ends up being 2 hours long. So I can shorten it if people are interested. I definitely think these probably my second favorite next to these earrings that we made with the goodies. So anyway, this is amazing because you can see the green and the kind of purples, and so I use these Crystal Lane crystals that Carmi sent me. Oops. These guys here. And these are, and I will take a look. I'm pretty sure these will be available. So they weren't when I did the unboxing, but I think they went on sale, so they must be available, at least on Amazon. This one is just called blue, so 4mm blue. There's 110 pieces on these. They're super inexpensive. The thing that I love about these new crystals, they're inside color, inside the bead, but they have this effect where there's like an iridescent purple on these blues. So you can really see it on this because the purple in here brings out the purple in here. So it's turned out really nice. I use these lovely pear drops. That's a matte crystal with AB on it. And then the iridescent, I don't know, it might be gray or blue. I can't remember. Or dreamy. I should have written it down. Dreamy blue, maybe, of the Swarovski pearls. And then I put a small one up here, 4mm. And I just divided them with demi rounds and did 2 rows of these crystals, so they're kind of staggered a bit. And these lovely what do they call it? Metallized beads. These ones here that we got in our box. So these are incredible. I don't know how they do it, but they're amazing. They're so beautiful. So that turned out really lovely. So we have those. So that's that. This here, what I was demonstrating here, is about to become, drum roll, saved it for last, is this here. So this is my attempt at bezeling. I think this is only the second time I've done this, where I bezeled right on the felt. And this felt is super soft. It's not good for this kind of work. But what I did was I took a sheet of red John Bead Good felt, which is super, super firm. And I just, sandwiched them together. I didn't even glue anything. I wasn't sure where I was going to be beading, so I didn't want to glue anything together. I could have tacked it in the corners and stuff, but it didn't really matter. Once I got my needle through and started doing stuff, it didn't go anywhere. So this turned out lovely. So it's interesting to see the difference in the look. So I feel like this looks more I don't know, more polished. I don't know if that's the right word compared to that. But you can see, why you would like both. But maybe it's just this added line here really gives it a polished look. So this here is basically going to get put on here. I think I may have to put some gold, some silver outline or gold outline on the leaves and things because of this being black. I could have used a different. Who knows? I could cut this out. I haven't gotten that far yet, so that's where I'm at with this. I think this is going to be amazing. So that is my update for today. I hope everybody's doing well, and I'm sure people are busy getting ready for the holidays and beading gifts and whatnot, going to craft shows. I noticed there's a lot of craft shows popping up everywhere so people can shop for gifts. And so I just wanted to say, again, with the John Bead Cylin Beads, black is one of my favorite. You can see how stunning these are. These blacks are so shiny and elegant and just pleasure to work with. So there you go. Let me know what was your favorite and what you think. Those 2 beads out or leave them out or in. I need help. I'm stuck now because now I'm finished. I stayed up late last night finishing this, and now I'm like, I want to put that part on. I guess I can always take it off if I don't like it. I'll start with the other stuff. So hurry, let me know. Take care, everybody. And just to let you know, the links will be in the description for the John Bead Friends and Family site for Curiosities boxes. They also have other things available on that site. They have like ready-made kits that are half price right now. And then they have bead mixes, like different colors and stuff like that. So I'm sure they'll be coming up with more goodies for us. And yeah, take care. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.